So I've been playing Pokémon Legends ZA for the past few days, the Switch 2 version playing it in 4K, and Pokémon games to me are always
I mean, it is still insane that we're watching Pokemon in 4K, right?
highlight of my year as a sort of
The bare minimum,
relaxation. Because I
finally.
grew up on Pokemon, I've been playing all the Pokemon games for the last 20 years, probably longer to be honest, and I always enjoy them for the most part. Pokemon has always been a very big part of my life. Whether that be the
Mine
trading
too.
cards, Pokemon Go, spin-off games, I consume
I mean, the fun part is that when a new Pokemon game is coming out, you know it's about to be Christmas, you know it's about to be Halloween. So you know that you can relax a little bit. Well, at exception of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which came out on January of 2022, I think, or 2023, I don't remember. In fact, let me just search. I cannot be this lazy, right? Let me search. When did Pokemon Legends Pokemon Legends Arceus, when did it came out? Was released worldwide on January 28, 2022. Okay, perfect. I was spot on, you know. That's what I do, right? Being right. That's all I do.
all of it. And I was very excited to finally jump into Legends ZA. But as you can probably tell from this channel, I don't talk about Pokemon here, but this is the first time that I feel I have to make a review on a Pokemon game. Because to be perfectly honest,
Okay, he feels the responsibility to do it. Okay.
this game is just unacceptable. It's really, really bad. And I don't know why it's reviewing so high. I'm really not someone that looks at reviews a lot and is skeptical that they might be paid off. I've done reviews myself. I've done sponsored videos for games before. I've never been paid for a review. But when I see people giving this game 80s, 90s, 100s,
Who is giving it 90s? Like, that's a little bit suspicious, not gonna lie, right?
even prominent outlets, there's something fishy going on here because this game is genuinely, and I say this as someone who enjoyed Scarlet and Violet, who loved Legends Arceus, bought both DLCs for Scarlet and Violet and finished the Pokédex, and had a good time doing it. This game is the most mid, unfinished, absolute minimal acceptable product that they could have.
I mean, that's what Pokemon fans want, right? That's what I want. The bare minimum, like, just please give us something, Game Freak. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit sad, right? Like, yeah, I mean, Legends Arceus was a good game, but we definitely were a little bit soft on it because we were like, okay, it's an improvement, a major improvement upon the Pokemon formula. So next one is going to be more polished. This one might not be very polished, but it's fine because the next one will be a step forward. And from what I've seen about Pokemon Legends CA, it's not. It was not. Legends Arceus is still better. That's what they say. That's what they say. Let's see what this guy
Possibly
thinks.
put out. And they're charging $70 for this. It is a genuine scam. And so that's why I feel I have to talk about this. So we're going to break it down. I'm going to go through literally everything I can think of that makes this game bad. And let me apologize in advance. The gameplay
Everything that I can think of. So he might let a lot of things that he didn't think of just out of the video. That's worrying, let's just say.
watching is going to be boring because there is nothing exciting happening in this game at all. But let's go ahead and get into it. So let's start with
There
the most
must be
obvious,
something
the elephant in
exciting,
the
though.
room that everybody's been talking about, the graphics. Now,
I like
up
how
front,
the map is
let's
just
just be
behind
honest,
me.
nobody plays
Look,
Pokemon
everybody.
for the
It
graphics.
looks
I don't
cool.
play Pokemon for the graphics, and I'm even willing to look past most of this game's graphics. Legends Arceus
You
had
know what?
bad graphics.
Sorry, I got super distracted by the fact that there is a map here. Wouldn't it be really cool if I just had a circle all the time there? You know, just I think it makes the composition way more interesting. I'm gonna work on that. It would be really cool to have like a circle forever when I do this type of thing. Of course, not when I'm in full camera. In full camera, we just need my real room. This is my real room, by the way. And when I'm looking at some video or something, it would be really cool to have just something like this. It would be fine. I'll work on it. I'll tell you guys.
Scarlet and Violet had terrible graphics, but those were still enjoyable games. Lumio City was an icon in X and Y. That game made the city feel alive, and it was the first time in a Pokemon game we
Yes.
really had something of this scale.
I mean, Lumio City, I guess, in the all the 3D games is one of the most iconic places somehow. I cannot think of many other iconic places in the 3D games. I mean, it's the first 3D game, right? X and Y. So Lumio City was definitely like a huge thing back in the day. But now that I think of it, I cannot think of many places that are as iconic in Pokemon in 3D Pokemon games. Maybe like the school, right, where the school in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is pretty iconic and it's actually pretty well done. So I like that. But other than that, there's not much to go on with, you know. But yeah, he makes an interesting point. I think they should have treated Lumios in a better way. But let's see.
But Legends ZA takes Lumio City and makes it as dead and dull as possible. We're in
No.
2025, and every surface of the city, for the most part, is a flat, blurry PNG. The buildings are literally rectangles, with no three-dimensional textures. Occasionally, you may have an awning over a doorway, or
You know, this is a little bit conflicting to me because I haven't played Pokemon Legends ZA because I am poor basically, but what I can tell you is that I saw some gameplay. I mean, that's just sad. I know you guys are like, oh, my Shayla, poor guy. He's please guys, somebody help him. I am fine, guys. It's just money hasn't been great, but I'm fine. You know, I'm not. I still have. I can eat whatever I want. You know, I might not be able to buy any game, and yes, sometimes I do the sad thing of I will not play this game because I'm poor, so I will watch a gameplay of it, okay? There's no shame on it. And I was watching a gameplay of Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm still waiting to see the whole playthrough of some YouTuber. I don't know exactly which one I'm going to see, just a random one. And what I saw, it was that they had a little bit of world building, and for me, I was like, okay, Lumio City actually feels a little bit alive, in the sense that they were like, okay, there's these things called battle zones, where in the night you go to different places and you can fight, and there's like a whole community of people that want to go and have Pokemon battles, and it felt kind of alive. Now, I haven't seen how it plays out actually in the gameplay, but I remember being like, okay, that's interesting. So every single night they change places, they change locations, and you can go and fight people. It feels like an alive place, you know. And they also make references like, oh, you know, you remember? I remember you from the other day. I beat you up, and they were like, oh yeah, I remember now. And so it was a little bit fun. Not gonna lie, you know. It was like, okay, this seems to have like a city culture. That's what I'm looking for, right? There is a city culture. Like if you go to Mexico City, there's a city culture. There's something people usually do in the night or something they usually do in the morning. And I like that Lumios kind of had that, but again, I think he's speaking more of the graphic aspect of it, but also like I said, I haven't watched exactly how that plays out in the gameplay, so it might not even be a huge thing, you know. It might just be like a thing to do, like a chore to do, rather than something actually cool. So it's still too early for me to say, but we'll see what this guy, what's the name again, Psystorm, has to say. You know, definitely go and check his review. It's pretty cool. Give it a like, please.
railing on the roof, or scaffolding that's meant to be something you can climb on. But that's it. The whole game looks like it has yet to load in fully. Now, even on Switch 1, this game does run way better than Legends Arceus and even Scarlet and Violet, and people are giving it credit for that, but I genuinely think the reason for that is because there's nothing to load in. You're really not putting that much stress.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry. Wait. Let me repeat that. I just wanna make sure that I am not crazy, that I heard this correctly.
It does run way better than Legends Arceus and even Scarlet and Violet, and people are giving it credit for that, but I genuinely think the reason for that is because there's nothing to load in. You really
it runs amazing. Everything loads so quickly because there's nothing. There's nothing to load. I mean, that's hilarious. That's honestly so sad that Pokemon fans have come to this, you know? Like back in the RPG era, I mean, it's still an RPG, right? But back in the Sprite era, that's what I'm trying to say. It was so interesting because every game was very visually pleasing. Even Black and White, I remember, looked absolutely amazing. I think you guys remember in Black and White where you have the bridge that you're crossing, and then the camera just shifts perspective and all of that. That looks insanely good. And yeah, now we come to it's weird because since it became 3D, now we expect, like, of course they're dumb, they're gonna do something horrible, they're gonna do the bare minimum, but that didn't used to be the case, you know, in the 2D. Yeah, you guys understand, in the sprite based games. it was actually beautiful. Pokemon was synonymous with being like good quality, good art. Yeah.
Putting that much stress on the console with how simple everything is. And you know the potential's there because Game Freak is currently working on another game called Beast of Reincarnation, and I'll let you make the comparison on that one. It's the same
That's
company.
insane.
They're probably using a lot of the same resources to make
So this is genuinely Game Freak doing this?
both these games. And well,
I don't
the
believe it. Let's see.
game
Like, I've
called
seen
Beast
this.
of Reincarnation, and I'll let you make the comparison on that one.
Beasts of Incarnation?
Working on another game called Beast of Reincarnation.
Beast of Reincarnation. Let me just fact check this. If it is true, then that's insane. Beast of Reincarnation. Developed by Game Freak and published by Fictions. I mean, that's insane. It's the first AAA Game Freak title outside of Pokemon. I mean, that's insane. They can do actually good things. It's so weird, right? Because it's clearly they can do interesting stuff. It's more like they think this is what children want. Because let's face it, Pokemon games are for children, but that doesn't mean that they have to look bland like this. They can be more colorful, more well done. For instance, something that comes to mind is Link's Awakening. No, it's not Link's Awakening, is it? Yeah, it's Link's Awakening for the Switch, the remake. It looks very beautiful. It looks polished, you know? Now, I'm not saying go and do the chibi style characters again, but this type of polish, you understand, like the textures, the overall atmosphere, the saturation on the colors, the right colors, you know? I mean, I guess if you see it side by side, it's not too bad, but I don't know, man. I don't know. For some reason, it looks bland. I don't know what it is, you know? But yeah, it doesn't look great.
And I'll let you make the comparison on that one. It's the same company. They're probably using a lot of the same resources.
That's insane that they are able to do that, you know? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect like a Pokemon game like this, right? Like this looks too not realistic necessarily, but this looks not the type of game for children, right? I don't know.
To make
I mean,
these
me
games.
as a children,
And,
I would have loved to play something like this, Pokemon like this, but I guess for the parents might be like, why does my kid want this? Maybe the kids do want this, but the parents wouldn't be as appealed for it. I think the parents see this bland game and just very simple to understand, and they're like, fine, I like that.
You can see the difference for yourself. But graphics are really just the tip of the iceberg with this game. From a gameplay perspective, Legend ZA
I love how that Ghastly looks, though.
is a downgrade from
really
Legend
cool.
Arceus in every
You know,
single
I always... Let me just check this.
From a gameplay perspective, Legend
Ghastly, it goes without an age. I feel like I've written Ghastly like twice in this last year, and actually I put an H on there. I am like GHASTLY. I don't know why I do that. It clearly doesn't have the H, but I put it. My mistake, sorry.
ZA is a downgrade from Legend Arceus in every single way.
I do like the
Instead of
whole
exploring a
cemetery
wide
thing
open
there.
world where Pokemon live naturally, you explore...
I wish it had more atmosphere, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, you have a cool place, but make it come alive, right? It's a place of dead people, you know? But make it come alive. Like, make it more purplish. Make it actually, like, scary a little bit. Or put some atmosphere on it. I don't know exactly how, but some purple smoke or purple sky when you enter in there. I don't know. Oi, what am I doing? I don't even know how I did that. Okay, there we go.
Where Pokemon coexist alongside humans, except not really. There are designated wild zones throughout the world, sectioned off by these giant ugly neon green lights that don't fit the setting at all. And these wild zones...
Yeah, the neon green lights, yeah. It kind of ruins a little bit the immersion. I understand that this is a thing that even if they made it like... Even if they made Pokemon look like, I don't know, like Beast of Reincarnation, they would still do this type of thing because it's for children, and so for children it's better like, okay, this is... You don't get confused, you're in the wilds, you know? But yeah, it definitely does ruin a little bit the the background.
May have 4 or 5 types of Pokemon in it, and they might be one block of the city at most. There is no exploration to be had. You can see the entire zone on screen at a single time, and the Pokemon
That's
are just
sad.
naturally sectioned off within the area. It may take you 5 minutes max to clear out each species in that zone.
5 minutes max. I mean, the gameplay that I was watching, yeah, it took him like 4 minutes to clear this whole wild zone. Like, there's not much to do. I mean, it is definitely a downgrade from Legends Arceus, where you have this whole place to explore. Even if it was a little bit emptier, it was bigger, and you had more variety of Pokemon. This feels. I mean, I don't even know why they made it like this is a wild zone. They could have just made it a park. Isn't it a park at this point? Like, it's just a regular park in a city. Or this is just the cemetery. Why is it a wild zone?
Where the Pokemon were legitimate threats in Legends Arceus, there is no sense of danger in this game. Unless you're at low level and purposely go try to catch a level 50 Pokemon, there is no tension. You can leave or fly out of the zone at any time. There's not even the tension of trying to catch a Pokemon without killing it, because even when a Pokemon faints now, you can still capture it. So the extent of
Oh
your
yeah, that's something I saw. I didn't know if it was just for the tutorial or what, but you kind of destroyed the other Pokemon and it doesn't disappear, like in all the other games. Which I guess for kids is a good thing, I remember being a child and being like, man, I really if I encountered a shiny, I was like, oh man, I really don't want to destroy this Pokemon. I really don't. But sometimes you kind of destroy the Pokemon and that was it. So yeah, I don't know. I understand for the kids, but yeah, as an adult player, it's like, yeah, well, at this point, just give me the Pokemon for free, right? Just what is the point? I don't even have to put some effort into thinking how not to destroy a Pokemon to be able to capture it. Like, what are we doing? Why am I even playing? Just put it in my PC, I'll just wait for it on there.
Pokemon interactions throughout the city is just running around, one-shotting everything with your most overpowered Pokemon and then throwing Pokeballs at it. There's no strategy involved, there's no thought process,
Yeah, exactly.
and if you
There's no
fail,
strategy.
you can just try again with
He
no
worded-
consequences.
worded
There's not
it
even a
perfectly.
consequence for missing a throw because there's scavengers around the map who will just give them back to you at Pokemon centers.
I don't know what
It
I'm
is
going to eat
entirely
later.
brainless,
Maybe
boring,
pizza?
and uninspired.
Maybe a
Now, where the game
Maruchan,
tries to
like
innovate the
a
most is in
instantaneous
battles,
soup.
and it kind of ditches the turn-based system for a new cooldown-based system where all the moves are on a timer. Your Pokemon isn't confined to one space, and it's kind of a real-time battle. And this is where I saw a lot of the reviewers hyping it up.
Ah, that's the Ghost Girl, isn't it? This character design looks pretty cool. I like it.
Saying that these battles are
And he has like a little Clemens Phantom. I always forget the name of this Pokemon, but it looks pretty cool actually. I like the design of this. But I do like I saw some designs on Twitter of some characters and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I really liked AC. AC's design. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Um, I had like a principle that I was never going to be seen just sneezing on a live, but I just did. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
so much fun, but when you actually get down to it, you just kind of end up button mashing whatever move is not on cooldown. Of course, you have your type advantages and stuff to consider, but there's no consequence for using a move that isn't very effective because the move that you want to use is on cooldown, and it's not like you're wasting a turn or anything. You can just use it.
Yeah, also one thing, for instance, what he's saying, I don't really understand. I think my least favorite thing about Pokemon games is the battle part. I mean, sometimes, every once in a while, I encounter a good fight, good battle, but for the most part, I think Legends Arceus, what people are saying online is that Legends Arceus was very focused on the catching aspect of Pokemon, and that CA is more in the battling aspect. And yeah, that's not my cup of tea.
For extra chip damage in the meantime while you wait for your better move to come along.
But I don't know
now,
what
as
you guys
someone who
think.
does not
You guys like the battling aspect of it. I mean, I've seen some good YouTubers battling. I think there's one named like Wolfie. Yeah, I think it's Wolfie. and he makes it interesting. But yeah, I guess it's more competitive. It's not just fighting NPCs. So you guys like more the catching aspect, more the adventure part of it, just discovering different places and watching some Pokemon and what Pokemon is going to be on there, or you guys like more the fighting? I guess there's a lot of people that like the fighting, you know? I shouldn't be hating on it that much.
Turn-based combat outside of Pokemon and played a lot of competitive Pokemon in the past, this takes all the fun out of it. You're not really positionally aware of attacks because you're not controlling your Pokemon. You're still controlling your player in this time.
Oh,
So
I
there's no
really like Machoke. I don't know what is it about this, guys. Again, just a random point. I love Machoke. Machop, Machoke, and Machamp are like my favorite Pokemon ever. You know, I just love them. You know, they just look so cool to me. Like, I think it's because when I was a child here in Mexico, we had the Tazos, which is like a small circle, like the one that I have here behind me. Just a circle of plastic that you can play with, right? And basically your friend has a tazo, you have a tazo, one puts a tazo in the floor and then the other one has to make it flip, but with only hitting it with the other tazo. And it was pretty fun game, and I remember having like a Machoke tazo, and I don't know, it was just so interesting to see Machoke. I don't know, it's just a good Pokemon. I don't know what to tell you. Even though it's a little bit weird, like why does it have clothes, right? Why is it born with? Well, I mean, it's born as a matchup. Then why, when it evolves, it just has like this, like I don't know even what to call it, like interior clothing of a fighter. I don't know.
dodging. There's no quick reactions having to occur. It's just button mashing. And the only thing you consider is type advantage. There is no strategy. Kinda like catching Pokemon, it's just brainless.
Not
and
a
if you
strategy,
fail, there's no
okay.
consequence. You just start over. And you can leave at any time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kids game, you know, but I wish it was more like you lose, then you go back, not till the beginning of the game, but you gotta go back to, I don't know, you just lose a level or something. But yeah, sometimes I mean, you don't really lose when you play Pokemon. There's no chance that you can lose ever. I don't think I've ever lost a battle with an NPC on Pokemon. But I will say this: I wish some. No, I remember I lost against Cynthia back in the Diamond and Pearl era. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I guess I wish there was more of a consequence on playing Pokemon, you know? Well, I think the consequence of playing Pokemon used to be like, okay, you can encounter a shiny, but you gotta be careful because if you find this rare shiny Pokemon, if you faint it, that's it. You are never going to see it again, you know? And but now not anymore. You can encounter a shiny, you just defeat it and you can still catch it. So yeah, I mean it's like super mega easy mode.
You can even run from battles in this game, which, ever since the first Pokemon
Run
game,
from
was a
battles. What do you mean? Nah, that's actually criminal.
time. You can even run from battles in this game, which, ever since the first Pokemon game was established in this world, you never do. So I would very
Yeah, you could never run from battles. I always wished that you could, but now that they made it a reality, now I don't want it, you know? Like, Jesus, that feels so cheap, you know? I mean, I guess at this point, why even play a game, right? Like, yeah, I understand that some fights are like, this is too tedious. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go through this. It's just button mashing. But if you're not even gonna do that, then don't do anything ever, right? At that point. Don't
much
even
rather
grab
go
the
back to
game.
the
Don't even
turn-based
worry
system in the
about it.
mainline games. Even what
You
Legends
will
Arceus
play it
had was
alone
way
for
better.
yourself.
This is just not fun to me at all. And I know people say with every single generation of Pokemon games, why don't they just revolutionize the combat? I'm gonna be an old head here and just say, because it always worked fine. The turn-based system in Pokemon is genuinely good. The strategies you have to do in the old Pokemon games is genuinely fun. You don't have
Yeah.
to strategize your way through the Elite Four and Soul
I mean, I did like the fighting in Pokemon Legends Arceus, though.
Silver and Heart Gold, having to take notes on what works and what doesn't work when fighting Cynthia and Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, that's fun to me.
That's
I
pretty
was
cool.
that
Yay. This man knows. This man
kid
knows.
back in the original Gold and Silver that if a move did not do damage, I replaced it with something that did. As I've gotten older and played more Pokemon games over the years, I learned the strategies that could be accomplished in the turn-based system, and I really don't think that's what should be changed to make good Pokemon games. But let's talk about something that could...
True. I mean, if this game truly is more focused on battle, which I don't know if it's true, then I don't know. I think I'm conflicted because if you're going to be focused on on battle, then at least give us the old battle, the one that we already know and love. But also, I could see somebody making the argument, oh, it's going to just be focused on battle. Well, then at least give us something interesting. So yeah, I mean, I guess this is the type of thing that you actually have to play to feel it, because I've seen gameplay. I've seen like 2 hours of gameplay, and I've been like, okay, they battle and all of that, but I don't know how it feels. I just don't know. Even though I imagine myself, this is not as sad as it sounds. Even though I imagine myself playing while I'm watching the gameplay, I just don't feel anything when the battle comes. When the catching, yes. When everything, yes. But in the battling, I just don't know how it feels yet. You know.
Could be changed. Like everything else in Legends ZA, the story is incredibly boring and feels like it was written by ChatGPT. The dialogue even follows a lot of the same patterns
like
that
ChatGPT, I mean, that's Pokemon stories in a nutshell, right? Like all the stories are so boring. The one time that they tried to do something really interesting, well, not really, but something mildly interesting was with Black and White, and yeah, it didn't sell incredible, let me just tell you.
He does, so I am kind of inclined to think they used it here. Now, when the game keeps you on
AI.
rails for the first several hours...
I don't know, because they've been having AI type of stories forever. I wouldn't like to think that they used AI.
Hours of it, and it's just flat cutscenes with dialogue boxes back and forth, and there's no soul to any of the writing. It makes for a boring game. Even Scarlet and Violet had some emotional beats to it, and the story was at least enjoyable. Legends Arceus had a good story, with interesting characters and side quests.
No, I mean, Legends Arceus had a really, I mean, again, very simple story, but it made me feel things, when the time in Pokemon Legends Arceus, I guess, when you're running back, well, not running back, but they kind of send you out of the town because they think you're doing something bad or something. I don't remember exactly. Like, they think you're causing a lot of trouble, and then they just kick you out of the town. It feels so interesting when everybody's watching you and you go walking in humiliation. I remember that I almost cried for it. I didn't cry necessarily, but I was like, what? Like, this feels so intense. Like, why are people judging me? So that was pretty well done, and apparently Legends CA doesn't have something like that.
Pokemon games had fantastic stories. This game has nothing going on. There's Rogue Mega Evolution happening, I guess, and Zygarde is somehow involved. That's it, that's all you know, that's all that happens. Supposedly the city is in peril.
Does Zygarde get a new form? I don't even know. If so, then it must be cool. Let me check. Where's my pointer? Here it is. It's the Zygarde Mega? Does it have a Mega? A real Mega? Or is this real? Huh. I don't know if this is real. Is it like a canyon? I don't know what it is. I guess I'll have to play.
Absolutely no signs of that when you're actually in the city, because again, nothing is happening. There's nothing going on in this game at any time. Legends Arceus had the storms going on in the world that were very hard to navigate, had rare items. It also had things like mass outbreaks, alpha Pokemon that were dangerous, but could be a big asset to your team if you catch. There is nothing happening in this game at any time unless it's a specific quest step. There aren't even interesting side quests to go on because they're all one small step. Like, show this person a Heracross. For the game world that's supposed to be a city of commingling between people and Pokemon, the Pokemon...
I guess I remember watching a critique of something like this back in the day, like 3 years ago or something, where it was like, back in the old days, in the Sprite era, Pokemon games used to make you part of the story, right? Where it was like, oh, there's a Snorlax blocking the town, blocking the bridge. You gotta go and capture or defeat the Snorlax. You gotta do it yourself. And then the new generation games, since Sword and Shield and all of that, it's like, oh, something happened here. And then you arrive and somebody else took care of it. You know, you're never being an active part of the story, right? Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's fair to say. Yeah, I don't know.
And have no effect on the world at all. For example, you see somebody walking down the street with their, well, you don't see them walking down the street, they're standing in place with a Metagross, for example. That would be a pretty big deal in the real Pokemon world. Like somebody having a Garchomp inside a store would, if they were taking the world seriously, have some kind of consequence. Like some of the characters in this game have text
Really?
bubbles that say something like, oh, I wish we didn't have Pokemon around the city like this because they're just causing trouble. But you never see any Pokemon causing trouble. They just stand there lifelessly, like
Yeah, I guess like in a real alive Pokemon world or city, like you would have some random events happening at some points. Not even part of the story, right? Because if you make them part of the story, yes, it might be very iconic, but also just randomly generated, you know, where you just have like a Garchomp or a strong big Pokemon. Even there could be categories, right? Where there's like in the game there's like 5 strong Pokemons. Any of those 5 Pokemons can be causing this type of trouble, you know? And then you have to go and solve it, or you don't have to, but you can go and solve it and you get a reward for it. That would be really interesting, actually. And I think it would make for the city really alive, and it also would make sense the fact of what this guy is saying, that some characters are like, I wish we didn't have Pokemon like this because they're causing trouble. Now that would make sense.
Statues that you can't interact with and don't interact with any of the people. Game Freak has entirely lost what people enjoy the Pokemon games for. They enjoy it for the Pokemon. And when the Pokemon are just statues with no personality, even in battle, it makes the game suck. I mean, you look at games like Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD from 2003, and there's...
I mean, yeah, they're like statues. I mean, it's unfair for me to say something about a game that I haven't fully played, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking randomly.
infinitely more personality and expression to the Pokemon in battles and around the world than what we have in 2025. It is sad. I mean, look at this Krokorok right here. This does not make me feel like I'm in the world of Pokemon whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, that Krokorok just looks sad, you know? It just looks like an object that is there.
Krokorok
and
right
that you
here.
can
This
engage
does not make me
with the
feel like
object
I'm in the world.
rather than an actual animal, you know? It would be actually intimidating. But how can they make it intimidating? I don't know, but imagine if he was just like moving all the time all around the trainer. I know that might be a little bit difficult, but come on, I mean, Game Freak has money. They can do that, okay? Let's not be like, we cannot give them too much work. They can absolutely, it's their job to make incredible games. And they have, but I guess they're still a lot with the RPG mentality rather than constructing a world, which is what you need in 3D games. You know, they still think that this is like 2D games, sprite based games, and it's not. You know, what's the version? Hello, Zach. Hello, Zach. I'm watching a review on YouTube. How is it, Zach? Where are you from? Hello, brother. I'm just trying to make like a YouTube video type, kind of like what Asmongold does, where he's just like watches the video and he just speaks about it, about something that he's passionate about. I'm passionate about this, and that's it. USA gay. Where is gay? GA. USA.
Whatsoever. But I think you guys get the point now, man. As a longtime Pokemon fan who loves the games, Game Freak has got to go. Give it to somebody else. They very clearly do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Game Freak don't have to give the game to somebody else to develop, but they could hire people that do things right, and they clearly have, right? Because they have the Beast of Reincarnation. They are developing Beast of Reincarnation. So they clearly can do things right. It's not that they're dumb or anything. They just think that I genuinely believe that this is what they think kids want. And they're like, oh, this is a kids game. We don't gotta put a lot of love into it, and they do put a lot of love, but I mean like polish, they're like, kids don't care about polish, but they do, even if they
Not care
didn't,
about putting
I just polish it, right? It's a $60-$70 game.
out a good
Just make it
product
polished.
or representing the Pokemon franchise in a good way at all. And what sucks the most about it is that everybody knows how high the potential is for a Pokemon video game. If they would just hand the IP over to some other developers that genuinely want to make a Pokemon game and care about the franchise and the universe, that is for a good reason the most popular franchise on Earth, we could have something truly spectacular that would revolutionize gaming. We don't know if we'll ever get that, because as far as the future,
Yeah, I mean, I guess Game Freak are doing something that is wise, but can also be frustrating, where they're trying to, you know, uh, just get better a little bit, then a little bit, then a little bit, then one step back, then two steps further, and they just wanna climb the game's impressiveness. Let's just call it that way, in a small ways, So it is a little bit of the Apple kind of thing. Maybe Apple could right now make like the iPhone 24, but they rather they would rather feed you every single year something that is a little bit better than the last year, and then throughout the years it will become very cool. But then when we arrive to that, there will be new expectations of what a Pokemon game could be. I don't know, man. Like, for instance, if you give the me in 25 or 27, I don't remember when Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out, when I was playing that, you suddenly give me this, I would be like, no, there's no chance. This is magic. This is just dark magic. I don't know what you did. I don't like this. I'm scared. Please, somebody save me. But now with the current day expectations, this just does not make it.
future looks, especially if you've seen the leaks, it's just going to keep being held hostage by these people that don't care about Pokemon, that don't care about making a good game. And
I mean, it's also a little bit like harsh to be like they don't care about Pokemon. They clearly do. It's just that they think this is what the market wants or what child wants. Or that's what I think.
that's a shame, it really is. But yeah, I can't in good faith recommend anybody buy this game. It's not good. If you're a hardcore Pokemon fan like me, you can find some moments of enjoyment if you just plan on completing the Pokédex, but that's about it. But anyway, I hate to be so negative. This game is just genuinely bad.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it seems like an interesting game. I think it could have been more. I really saw a lot of people commenting about, okay, it's based on Paris. Well, you could do something where Paris actually in real life supposedly has like an underground. I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm not entirely knowledgeable on that topic. But if it doesn't, imagine just you don't gotta do the whole city underground, but just do some parts underground that are very interesting. That could be really cool. That could be like a good twist to the game, and you can get some interesting Pokemons down there. Maybe a dog trio or something. And I don't know, just yeah, it feels like a very small scope game. And the reason that a lot of people were happy with the fact that it was going to be a little bit smaller scope than Legends Arceus, at least in size of the map, it was like, okay, but they're gonna polish it amazing. Okay, guys, don't worry, it's gonna be way smaller, but it's gonna look amazing. It's gonna blow everything out of the window, but it didn't. And yeah, I guess that's it.